And hello loves, this is my 2026 goal video. We are going to go over my goals for 2026, and here is a little visual that I should be getting done, not at this point, but I aim to do that. And we're going to go over what I aim to, and I do like to have easy ones that should be done quite relatively easy, ones that are a little bit more definitely going to need God's miracle work for. But when you serve a great God, why don't you have great goals that are definitely outside of your reach but not for him, and a few in between. So let's go over the list. I definitely want to finish Peter's Shadow, which is 1.5 of my web series. That was a goal from last year that I am continuing to try to do. Hopefully we'll get it done. It is a novella, and hopefully less than 100 pages and it should be done. Maybe 50 closer. We will see when it gets done, but I have a tendency to add to things. The next goal is to start Hidden Shadows, which is the third book of my Distorted Reality web novel series. If you've not checked that out, it is on Tapas and Wattpad. You can find a link on my creator page. It is a Christian spiritual fantasy-esque type story. I have book 1 and book 2 completed, and yeah, that's what my goal is, to start book 3 this year. Which leads us into our third goal, which is to finish the cover art for A Faltering Self book 2 and Hidden Shadows, which I'm already working on A Faltering Self's cover photo, so that should be relatively done, maybe within the next month. The only problem with Hidden Shadows is it's easier to work from when I have a scene in mind, but I have no clue what Hidden Shadows cover art is going to be, because I have a tendency to not grasp when timeline-wise is going to be in a book, because I can think that there's going to be a certain scene in a certain book and that doesn't take place until a lot later, only because I can have a tendency to inflate the timeline. As far as in book 2 was definitely the majority took place in one day, which did not expect that. But the next goal is to get 200 pages more in The Lost Kids. Now, I started this September of 2025. I already have 230 pages, so I have no clue how long it's going to be. Maybe 600 to 700. I've given up on an estimate, more than just maybe we'll be there. I know it's going to be a long book because there's a lot of point of views. So 200 more pages, which would be 11 pages at least a week, because I only do that 5 months out of the year. So hopefully we can get another 200 pages in of that. And the next goal is to get book 2 of my Lightbearer, Tales of a Young Lightbearer series. I already have 1 almost done. They're relatively short, relatively easy. So hopefully book 2 we can get done at the end of the year, when I do my end of the year sprint. And then next goal, to get halfway through Starcrossed Lovers in the rewrite. Now, I do have most of that rewritten, so this one should be relatively mostly editing, and hopefully more than halfway through, but I am adding 2, so I don't know how long it will be lengthwise, so we will see when we see. And then the final goal, which would be awesome, this is definitely a God goal. Maybe it's me inspired, as in it's my own kind of thoughts wanting to do this, but it definitely would take God's work. 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, because I don't know, I was gonna say 1,000 because having that as like a rollover from last year's goal, since I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. Nonetheless, I appreciate you all, and for some reason I was just like, you know what, 10,000 seems like a good goal. And I was gonna backtrack it a few times, but I'm just like, no, 10,000, just like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I will be grateful either way, but at the same time, let's go for 10,000. Let's shoot high. But that is my 2026 goals. Tell me a few of yours, if not all, in the comments below. And if you do not already follow me, you should definitely follow me, because that would be appreciated.